Hello and welcome back on You Grow. It has been a while since the last video was published. In fact, I was thinking that was about 3 or 4 weeks, but turns out that's actually 5 weeks today since the last vlog was released. Obviously, there's been the giveaway video that came in between. Apart from that, we've not had a vlog and we've not been chatting for about 5 weeks now. Obviously the thumbnail and the title will kind of give you a clue of what's happening, but I wasn't sure if I was going to touch on this, if I should even touch on this, but I feel like I owe you an explanation for my absence. Let's grab a seat, got a coffee already, go and get your coffee or your tea and let's have a chat. Right, first of all, I just want to make sure that it's understood that I am not making this video to try to get sympathy. Like I said, I wasn't gonna make it. I've been thinking a lot about this. I was just gonna kind of put this under the rug. You'll understand all in a minute. But I was just not going to mention it on the channel, and it's just actually yesterday. I'll show you the video after, but I was at the allotment yesterday, done a smashing harvest of spaghetti squash. You'll see all that. I'm really chuffed with that, and then had a fairly decent time for once at the allotment. It's been a while, it's not been like that, and actually I had, like I always do, I've got my rucksack with me ready to film just in case. I don't always film, obviously, it's sometimes it's not worth it, not interesting, but I had everything with me, and yesterday I felt like it was the right time. 5 weeks ago I've received a letter. I won't open it. There's personal details, there's sensitive information, so I will not show you the actual document. But basically I got a letter from the committee at the allotment in regards to the upkeep of the plot. I will try to stay as factual as I can. I don't want to influence you at all. As I say, I'm not looking for any sympathy or anything like that. I just want purely to give you the facts, to tell you where I'm sitting just now, what's going on, and what's happening for the allotment, the channel, or for what I know just now. It's not exactly clear. The wording is a bit confusing in the sense that it doesn't really highlight the reason for sending me this letter. To give you, I don't have the exact timeline. Well, I do have the exact timeline, but I've not got it with me, and I will not go over the exact details of dates and so on. This is something that I reserve for a meeting that's coming on Sunday with the committee. Early August is the time where, the same way that for the open day, everyone's trying to get together to tidy all the communal area and get the plot ready for the judging day, and which is also an open day, and do a bake sale and flower sale as well. So anyway, long story short, a few days before receiving this letter, I've approached someone in the committee and asked, so we were looking at different areas, so the council is involved because it's a council ground, so the local council gardeners were meant to come and clean and cut the grass in all the areas and all that, and then it was just a case of us doing a touch-up if needed just before. Now I've mentioned about a path, which is the one right next to the one that I use all the time, the one right next to the clubhouse, which obviously makes a shorter way for me to get to the plot, and although it's not the main entrance for the plot, this is the one that I use, and Tony as well, uses this path to get in and out of the plot because it's the quickest way, but also because the other way is quite often difficult to access, especially with wheelbarrows and so on, because there's always, like, obviously there's a couple of black bins or general rubbish bins which are more often than not left in the middle of the way, and also there's always like overgrown brambles and whatnot. It's always a bit more difficult to pass on this path, if I can say so. So I've just very innocently really approached a member of the committee and said, well, this path probably need cleaned as well and need tidied, so that'd be good if it can be done. There's a lot of rubbish, there's an old bench, there's some broken pieces of the greenhouses which are there from the storm that we had in January, which have been left there, and a few bits and pieces from someone and the allotment that been left there. Again, it's part of the rules. You shouldn't leave stuff in the path. But this has been going on for ages. Those things have been there forever. But unfortunately, it's in the way, making it difficult at times to use the path properly. A few times I've walked along that path and there was those metal spikes, the spiral one, the one to hold flowers, well, in this case dahlias, which are metal one with metal spikes which have been left on the ground, but since they're spiral like that, there's obviously a pointy bit that can either point towards the ground or sometimes point up. Pretty much 99% of the time I wear my safety boots when I go to the allotment, because obviously I'm doing heavy graft. If I wasn't doing that kind of work, I probably would be going in flip-flops like I have just now, or Crocs or something like that. And on a couple of occasions I've actually walked on that spike, which thankfully I had my work shoes so they didn't go through at all. But if it was my flip-flops or something like that, or normal trainers, potentially could have been quite dangerous and not the exact same outcome. So I've just pointed out, this is one that probably needs to be added to the list. And I was told, well, this is the plot holder's responsibility to keep it tidy. Right, that's fine. So there's three of us, Tony, myself, and the guy that's next to us. So I'll speak to them and we'll find out who's gonna do what. And then a couple of days later, this letter came, which obviously mentioned the upkeep of the plot and the adjacent path, which highlights the fact that the plot doesn't look to be cultivated to its full potential, and basically giving me a warning that I have. I think at that time that was about 3 weeks before the show, before the show, to get it tidy, basically. I don't want to go into too much details, but I know he won't mind me mentioning it. Tony also got the same letter, and I don't know for the other ones. I don't know who else got the letter, and even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you, but I don't know who else got the letter. But I know that Tony got a letter, I got a letter. So given that the plot, yes, is a bit weedy, but is kept, the only way we could read this letter was, this is about the past. So with Tony, we decided to give it a good tidy. Tony trimmed and cleaned the whole side, like the front of the plot, both plots. He's done a good tidy on his plot as well. I've done some more weeding on my side as well, and I have weeded the parts that I'm talking about, with the exception of where those things were lying, because I was assuming that everyone got the same letter. But either the letter's not being given to everyone involved in this, or not everyone's acted upon it. I was there the day before the show and the day after the show. I didn't go on show day, but because I was busy. But I went the day before, I went the day after, and the path was still the same, not been clear the way it should have been. And apart from the work that Tony and myself put in, nothing had been done really. And I'm not gonna lie, it hit me pretty hard, that one, because I feel like, although it's a work in progress, keep in mind that I've been given this plot at the end. I've signed up at the end of March, but basically literally the last day of March. So 1st of April was really when I first got onto my plot. I've got a lot going on. I've got bigger plans for the plot, which means that I do not want to just shove stuff in the ground for the sake of it. There's areas which have not been worked on, just kept fairly tidy, because don't get me wrong, I know that it could have been weeded much better, but I don't want to put too much effort into it because I don't see the point, because I don't feel that it's impacting on the overall look, or as trim over the weed, and it's good enough for now. It's not good enough, obviously, but for now it's good enough. And I've got plans for the future, and this is also something that I've already approached the committee about this, and I think I've mentioned that in probably the last vlog, just to find out how I could, if I had to apply, and how I could apply for a semi-permanent structure for the fruit cage. So they know that there is structure coming up, which is why I'm not using the whole plot. And I've mentioned right at the beginning, I was hoping to do a third of that one side, and I've ended up doing the whole side. And I've got all the courgettes, I've got the squash, I've got sweet corn, I've got, I'm not going to go through all the veg and things that are fruits that are growing there, but I feel that it's showing like it's cultivated. And this letter is saying that, well, it's not. It's showing like it's not cultivated, and it is. I feel like it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it is cultivated. I felt like it wasn't fair that I was receiving this letter, and it does say on the letter, this is not something that we usually send to a new plot holder. So why would you do it then? Why would you do that to me? I mean, I'm really trying hard, and yes, I could have done a ton more, but Rome wasn't built in a day. It's things come in due time, and I've got other commitments, and I also have bigger plans, which means that I need money, and I've got reasons why the whole plot is not worked on. Yes, I would love to have moved on the 1st of April there, and by the 2nd of April have the whole ground turned over, rotovated, which I'm not doing, obviously, because I'm going for no dig. And this is the reason why not the whole plot, also the reason why the whole plot is not worked on, because obviously the cost of compost is just huge. So it's slowly but surely I'm getting there. The whole section with the strawberries, I was waiting to see what the strawberries were like. Now that I know which one I want to keep coming into autumn, now I'm gonna clear this area, pull them out, and then relocate them until I can plant them up in the fruit cage. I very much have plans. I've acted straight away to get the flower area sorted, because that's basically one of the rules. They do not ask in the rules, they do not ask to have so many fruits and veg or whatever planted. All they ask is 1/3 of the plot needs to be planted with flowers. So that's the first thing that I've done. So I was good for that side. I had flowers in, and I could work slowly on the rest of the plot. I wouldn't mind if someone had approached me and from the committee officially and said, well, can we help you? Is there something that you need help with? Because we see that you seem to struggle. I don't, but maybe it looks like I'm struggling to get the plot kept ready, whichever way you want to put it. And at that point, I would have been able to explain my reasoning why I'm not able to, or why I've not done, that's not, I'm not able, why I've not done this, why I've not done that, why it's in the way it is just now, why I'm moving slowly towards getting the plot ready, what's the big plan for the plot, and exactly what's going on. But they've not. They've just sent me a letter to say your plot is not kept, or it doesn't look like it's cultivated, or I don't know. Again, it's very, very unclear. the adjacent paths are not kept, and it's your responsibility. And we don't send that to new plot holders, but there you go. There's your letter. So after receiving this letter, I have approached the committee and, well, in fact, I've approached the secretary of the club, of the allotment, because that's the right person to contact, and if I've got something in relation to this letter. So no other reason than that why I contacted that person specifically. And I've asked to have a discussion face to face, just so I could explain the reason why. Well, first of all, so I could ask what this letter means exactly. So it's been a bit tough, and I've tried to get filming done, and I've done the giveaway. I've also done another video which I've worked on a bit on the editing, but I've not released it obviously yet. I've not finished the editing, but I'm hoping to release this video very shortly as well. But in terms of vlogging, I've tried in terms of plot tour. I should mention that as well. Obviously there's no August plot tour, and there won't be any August plot tour. And although I've said from January, and I'm genuinely really disappointed that I've not kept that going, but since I've not done any work and there's not really any progress, I filmed the whole plot tour at the allotment. I needed to do the plot tour in here, and I've still not done it. Vlog, same thing. I've done a couple of filming. I've done a time lapse, which I will put at some point, of when I was dismantling some more of the glass and broken glass and all that drama. So I filmed some of that as well as a time lapse. So I will put this in the video, but I was planning to do a vlog around this, but I'm not gonna say I've lost the mojo. I've not lost the mojo. That's not what it is. I'm genuinely really itching to go back to it, but the weather's been rubbish. I've been extremely busy. All this is falling on my head, and I felt like I needed to take a step back. It's not really taking a step back. I need answers. That's mostly that. I need answers. Once I have my answers, I'll know what to do. To finish on a slightly more positive note, I'll take you over to the allotment so you can see what's been done. I was yesterday, so it's a bit of Back to the Future type of thing, but I will show you what is been happening there, what we've done yesterday, and the bumper crop. Hope you'll like it. I'm chuffed as anything. Remember to go and look at the giveaway video. It's the algorithm's making me pay for not posting video regularly, so this one's been reaching very little audience, so still have time. Vlog 35 is not out yet. This is vlog 34, so you've got another week and a bit to go and vote for your chance to win the seeds, which I should have a packet with me, but I've left them inside. Vote for your chance to win the seeds. So if you've not seen the video, at the end of this video, it will be somewhere either here or there, but one of the two sides on the screen. So stick to the end of the video. Make sure to go and watch that video and cast your vote. You've got another week and a bit before vlog 35 is out and before we announce the winner. So let's go to the allotment now. Despite the current situation, despite the mojo not quite being there at the moment, as I've just explained, I came here today in the hope to do a bit of tidying. I've literally, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've literally just came to harvest what was harvestable, and that's pretty much it. I knew I needed to take care of the courgette, clear up a bit the stem, since I'm growing them upright, just to give them a bit of breathing space and help encourage them, hopefully, to grow a bit better. One of them is not doing too well, the other one's doing great. But we'll touch on this towards the end of the season when we just review the season, basically. But yeah, there's still some harvesting to be done. Right here, behind me, if I manage to turn this camera, I've got the raspberries, and I still have a load of them to harvest. I've been continuously harvesting throughout August. I'm probably sitting around 3.5, 4 kilo of raspberries this season, so pretty happy with that so far. Obviously there's bigger projects which hopefully will encourage even more harvest. There's a whole lot in July, which obviously was the first flush. I didn't get to harvest them because obviously I was away on holiday, and yeah, so that could have been a lot better. I reckon I probably could have been just over 6 kilogram of raspberries, so really happy with that. So you will excuse the mess on the table. I usually try to move things about so you can see a bit better. But yes, squash, look at the size of those squash. I'm gonna leave one of them for Tony so he can try those ones, but the rest will come with me. And I'm actually thinking this one will be for tonight. I've got, this is just some sunflowers. I've got the other ones at home drying, so those ones will join them. And I've got a couple of really nice, oh well, one that fell through, and one really nice courgette. A week and a half ago I've harvested one that was not far off twice the size of this. The courgette was 1.5 kilogram on its own. So just now I'm basically taking them home. I've got some which I peel and cube and put in the freezer, and others that I just, and in this case I probably will do that as well because it's a bit damaged, but otherwise I just, a smaller one like this one there, I just slice them like 0.5 centimeter slices, and they will do really well with the skin for roasting. And I still have to get some raspberries out of there, and that pretty much will be the harvest for today, unless I think I'm gonna pick up the onions as well. Right, so that's everything harvested now that needed harvested just now. So this is the bag, and please excuse the fact that I'm using plastic bag. Once I will have the greenhouse in here, I'll be able to store my trough in here, and I've got two actually, so both are at home just now. But in an ideal world I would keep one in here and then take it home, and then just have, you know, the troughs, like constantly have one basically in here. But until then, I'm afraid I don't really have anywhere to store anything, so I'm using plastic bag because that's a roll that fits really easily in my bag. So some onions, not great. There's one really that is slightly better than the others, but most of them are probably about this size, hence why I'm saying that's not really, don't think it's particularly worth it. Raspberries, again, a decent amount of raspberries, and I've been really hard. There's plenty that would be harvestable just now. If I was making a jam or jelly or something like that, I would definitely harvest them all. But since they're going to be eaten like then, I don't really eat, I don't actually like raspberries, to be fair, so it's mostly for my kids. And yeah, the texture of those mushy ones is not great, especially when you put them in a bag like that. There's already some getting crushed at the bottom, so I've only harvested the best one really, which is not great, but the rest will be for the birds, so it's fine. Obviously courgette, you've seen that, and well, I'm not gonna pick them up again, but I'm picking one up. But those ones, I'm really looking forward to see what they're like. It's actually the first time I'm growing spaghetti squash. I've never done spaghetti squash before. I have done butternut squash in the past. Not great results, but I at least had, I think, one that came out. So yeah, seeing this, I don't know if it's butternut squash, spaghetti squash, are much easier, or if I'm really lucky. But I mean, I said I wasn't gonna pick it up, but look at the size of this. I mean, this is huge. I'll wait it when I get home, so I can tell you the weight of this baby. And I've got another one sensibly similar to this, and then some more coming afterwards. So really, really chuffed with the spaghetti squash. Well, I hope you will be able to hear me, because they're cutting the grass just at the back there. That's the rain just starting. So I think it's a good time just to finish working. I'm gonna take this over to Tony's just now. And I really like that arch actually. I think I'm gonna end up copying the style. I've got an arch anyway, which I wasn't too sure what I was gonna do with it. But I think that would be quite a nice way to use it. Oh, it's warm. It's warm in here. And I will finish this episode in Tony's greenhouse, just because I'm sure that at least you can hear me here. Not exactly the episode I wanted to make, not exactly the break that I was thinking to take, if I can say so. Hopefully next week I will come back with better news. I've got my onions and garlic, which have been ordered now, so they're coming fairly soon. I've got some daffodils bulbs which have arrived a couple of days ago. I've got 240 bulbs, so I've got some for home and I've got some for here. So I definitely have plans, and obviously we also have the flower meadow, or the, I keep calling it a meadow, but it's not going to be a meadow as such. Meadow, you should have grass in it. This one won't have grass, so it's a wildflower area more than a meadow. But this is obviously part of the plans as well. And I was just really looking forward to be able to move step by step through this project and not feel like I have to rush. Maybe I don't, and maybe that's me that misunderstood the letter. It's just frustrating. I think that's the thing. That's frustrating. It really is frustrating. Like I said, I've got plans, very clear plans in my head. Yes, the greenhouse, I keep saying it's going to be there, it's going to be there. Realistically, I knew deep down that it wasn't going to be there until the winter. I'm almost halfway there, dismantling it. I've got some materials to put down. I just need to have a bit of spare cash to build a base. But I don't know. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I should have covered the whole ground with something just for the sake of it, or I don't know. But hopefully, yeah, next week the motivation will be back. The answers, all the questions will be answered, and I'll be able to start again nice and fresh, or resume nice and fresh, and with a clear plan of what's coming up in the next few months until basically the start of the next season, because we're now officially coming to autumn. Anyway, I will see you hopefully next week. Well, I will see you next week anyway. No matter what, I will keep you in the loop. I will do either a really cheery episode where I'm telling you that there was a big misunderstanding and we're back on track, or I'm gonna make an episode to tell you what the future holds. Time to go and enjoy those spaghetti squash. Thank you very much for joining today, and I hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye.